Birmingham City hosted Liverpool at St Andrews for a place in the FA Cup semi-finals. The Blues were fighting relegation, so the FA Cup offered a pleasant distraction to their league woes. Manager Steve Bruce was hoping to lead the club to their first cup final since 1956 and secure their first piece of major silverware in more than 40 years. Chelsea's strong form in the Premier League meant the Reds' best chance of silverware was in a domestic competition under the stewardship of Rafa Benitez.
Birmingham City may be embroiled in a relegation struggle in the Premiership, but the chance of reaching the last four in this most famous of cup competitions is of course a huge incentive as they face a Liverpool side hotly pursuing now their one remaining hope of a trophy this season. Check on the teams. Steve Bruce at least has had one more day than Liverpool to prepare, but his injury list remains an extensive one. Indeed, it was into double figures after Saturday's home defeat by Spurs, including key men such as Nicky Butt, Muzzy and Matt Upson, Chris Sutton as well. Emil Heskey, after a fitness test, hasn't made it either. So with Dudley Campbell cup-tied, Bruce can only field one recognised striker in Mikhail Forsell. At least though David Dunn is OK to start. Much should be made of Liverpool's goal-scoring problems, but they put 5 past Fulham in the Premiership a week ago, and then 3 more against Newcastle on Sunday. Tonight, Benitez has opted for Peter Crouch pretty much as a lone striker, with Steven Gerrard in the chief supporting role, along with Luis Garcia. And a real surprise and a wonderful story, really. Momo Sissoko, the Mali international, who only a month ago was fearing he had lost the sight of an eye after a kick in the face. He has made a dramatic recovery and returns tonight in midfield. And Steve Bruce's message to Forsell and his other players: we're not putting up the white flag, let's roll up our sleeves and give it a right good go, as I'm sure they will. Their home form had been OK in recent weeks, but then they faltered here against local rivals West Brom in the Premiership, lucky to get a draw in the end. And then last weekend came the 2-0 loss to Tottenham that has left them in a lot of trouble down at the foot of the table. And they have the towering figure of Peter Crouch to contend with this evening. He was a scorer at the weekend, played really well too for Liverpool as they overcame Newcastle by 3 goals to 1. And by all accounts played even better than they did in the 5-1 mauling of Fulham a few days earlier. They're in form at the moment. Here's Alonso. Straight at him was David Dunn. And Rob Styles giving the free kick, and rightly so. Not quite sure where Gerrard is going to play, but what is for sure is that he will influence this game, as he does every match in which he performs. Herpia has gone up front to join Crouch. There is Gerrard to whip it in. It was off to Sissoko, and a goal from Herpia inside the first minute. 55 seconds on the clock, and all he could do there, Steve Bruce, was to look at the ground and maybe hope it would swallow him up. Very hesitant defending, you'd have to say, from Birmingham. Knocked on by Sissoko, no one really picking up Herpia. Taylor couldn't get to it, nor could the man on the line. And it's a flying start. Sissoko in those Edgar Davids-style glasses that he's wearing for protection. And it's a bitter, bitter pill for him to swallow. Melchiot was at fault for one of Tottenham's goals at the weekend, and came in for some pretty fierce criticism from the Blues fans. Steve Bruce afterwards was defending his players, of course he must do, but he wasn't defending the way he gave away the goal, or at least the mistake that led to it. Crouch, there's no hiding place out there, says Steve Bruce, when you commit that kind of blunder. Here's Gerrard leading the charge for Liverpool. In goes Crouch! 2-0, and Birmingham already are in turmoil. Disarray at the back. And you can't help but sympathise with Steve Bruce. All the planning counted for nothing here. Sensational start by Liverpool. Look at the room though that Gerrard has got out there. And no one has got with Crouch. He's got between two defenders. Cunningham was ball watching, and it was too strong for Mike Taylor in the Birmingham goal. Dreadful defending, but first-class finishing from Liverpool. 2 goals inside 5 minutes. It's John Arna-Risa. Might be more punishment to come. Goodness me, Crouch again. Well, not in their wildest nightmares could they have thought it would have been as bad as this, Birmingham, surely. It could have been 3. It's Harry Kewell maybe preparing to come on in place of Traore. Risa then would go to left back, presumably. Isfinen. Xabi Alonso. Technically such a good player. That was Gerrard, ever involved. If the ball's not coming to him, he'll go and fetch it. Played around 50 times himself this season. Must be a little worrying for Sven-Göran Eriksson that there may well be a burnout from Gerrard, unless he does take a breather sometime soon. Mind you, I think when it's been suggested in the past that he might take a rest, he said no thanks. Don't you dare leave me out. Of course, he is the skipper, and very much the talisman for Liverpool. That was Risa with the clearance. Crouch can't hold it up though. Stephen Clements. Now Forsell. Immediately surrounded by defenders though. They've got to get some support for him. Here's Gerrard. Good movement from Luis Garcia. He's come up with a few spectacular goals in his time at Liverpool. That wasn't one of his better strikes though. Lovely little ball played through then by Gerrard. Garcia seizing onto it, but not stretching Mike Taylor. So here's Kewell. On for the injured Jimmy Traore. Liverpool haven't lost at the quarter-final stage since 1995. Went out to Tottenham that year. Stephen, who gives them that balance down the right. They actually played with 3 central defenders at Newcastle at the weekend, reverting to a flat back 4 tonight. Crouch. There's Garcia. He's got really quick feet. Still Luis Garcia, and now Crouch. 2 for him. And Liverpool are coasting at 3-0. 8 minutes from half-time. Crouch was involved here at the start. Gerrard kept it going. Luis Garcia. But no real conviction about Birmingham's defending. Did really well, Garcia. And then Crouch waiting for his moment, and he picked his spot well too. Beyond Mike Taylor. Going to make a change for the second half. Tebley is going to come on. Martin Taylor, who was certainly at fault for the first goal, has given way. There's Morientes. I think it's fair to say the Liverpool fans haven't quite been won over by him yet. They've certainly warmed to Peter Crouch. No hat-trick for him this evening. But the Liverpool fans rising to him. Really was on song in the first half. Got those 2, might have had another one. But now they're saving him, and sending on Morientes, who finally scored recently after a barren spell. It's his first in 15. Here's Tebele getting the better of Gerrard. Morientes was a scorer in that 5-1 thrashing of Fulham. Gerrard got goal side of Painter. Almost played Garcia in then. Tebele had to be on his guard. Defending a really high line there as they pushed up Birmingham. Gerrard's got in round the back. It was Tebele who cut it out as Garcia waited to pounce just behind him. Gerrard. Now Alonso to clip it in. Oh! Really had Taylor stretching. He was off his line, backpedaling furiously. Just managed to claw it over the top. Such quick thinking by Alonso, the man who scored from his own half against Luton in round 3. It's been a magnificent signing for Liverpool. Gerrard sitting this one out. Out of the penalty box. Risa. Up goes Morientes. Shown in bits and pieces really what he can do. He needs to find some consistency. That applied to Harry Kewell for quite a while. This was Alonso. I think he's gone for goal there. Nearly sneaked in. Chance flipped over by Mike Taylor. I did warn you at the start he might be in for a busy night, and that has proved to be the case. Against the Liverpool side, really on their game at the moment. Carragher. That was Alonso. And Sissoko. Really combative in the midfield. Anxious to show that he has suffered no ill effects from that eye injury in terms of his fitness, his stamina and his competitive edge. Approaching the hour mark. No change in the balance of power. Alonso with Sissoko. Now it's Steve Finnan. There was a neat little flick then by Garcia. Gerrard. Morientes. Beautifully worked. Such incisive play, and no wonder he is pointing at the teammates who set it up for him. He had the easy part. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. 4-0 to Liverpool. And that's the pick of the bunch, really. Look at the passes they've strung together here. Garcia into Gerrard. Morientes between two defenders. And Birmingham simply had no answer. Attacking play of the highest order from a team playing with such confidence. Perfectly weighted. That pass from Gerrard into the path of Morientes. He wasn't going to miss from there. Here's Alonso. Heading for Luis Garcia. Not a fixture in the team, but he's done okay tonight. Sissoko. Luis Garcia was hovering just behind him, and they nearly worked another opening there. Here's Finnan. They are in the mood. Risa! Boy, are they in the mood! That's a cracker. Venomous strike from John Arna-Risa. He does pull those out from time to time. It's 5-0 to Liverpool, and even the Birmingham fans are admiring there the quality of that strike. He hit it so fiercely. Didn't seem to be that much danger in truth. Laid off by Gerrard, and then he let fly, and it fizzed past Mike Taylor. Second FA Cup goal of this campaign. And it was a typical venomous strike from the Norwegian. Herpia. Almost into the last quarter of an hour. It's Harry Kewell, Morientes, and then Xabi Alonso. And crisp passing from Liverpool. Trying to unhinge Birmingham again. That's a goal kick. And whatever Alonso thought, he didn't presumably consider it was worth complaining about. Not with the scoreline as it is. Kewell. Trying to weave his way through without success. It will be a throw to Liverpool. It's over 3 years since his last FA Cup goal. One for Leeds in the 5th round, February 2003. Here is Kewell now. Teasing Melchiot. It's an own goal. It's 6 off Tebele. And it just about sums up Birmingham's night. And he can hardly now bear to watch. Well, you have to feel for them here. So many defenders back. He just sliced it into the corner. There's nowhere near Cisse. And they really should have snuffed it out. But instead, the unfortunate Olivier Tebele has put it through his own goal. I'm being told this is Rafa Benitez's biggest career win. And again, I suppose not surprisingly, it's Steve Bruce's worst defeat as a manager. You won't thank me for telling him that. Melchiot. A few ironic cheers around St Andrews now as Birmingham string some passes together. Still in possession with Pennant. But he can't dance his way through. And in the end, resorts to bringing down John Arnorisa. An assistant you can't blame him, won't look him in the eye. Well, he has ability, Jermaine Pennant, but yet to show it really on any kind of consistent level, or indeed on this highest stage in the Premiership. What Steve Bruce needs now is to get his big players back. The likes of Heskey and Sutton and Upson. And if he can do that, well, there is hope. Nicky Butt, another one who is out, even though he's not been playing that well. Nicky Butt, he actually had one of his better games at the weekend. But at least his drive and commitment could have helped this evening. Melchiot. So many out for Birmingham. You do have to sympathise with Steve Bruce. He hasn't got Liverpool's squad. Here's Cisse. Oh! It's squeezed in and it's 7. Mike Taylor has to take the blame for that one. The malaise, the defensive malaise is spreading. Oh, just blow that final whistle. Steve Bruce must be thinking now. Poor old Mike Taylor. Really wasn't any danger. Fired in by Cisse, through the legs of Painter and under the grasp of Taylor. 7-0. Just let me go home. His press conference afterwards could be pretty short. And you can't blame him, really, if he decides not to turn up. What can he say? Can't really be any explanation for the way that his team have just fallen apart in alarming fashion. Not just for this game, but for the matches to come. Well, there'll be a shake of the hand from Steve Bruce. He will keep his dignity, and Rafa Benitez will feel for him too. Well, he kept going for Sell on his own most of the time. Mike Taylor accepting the condolences of the Liverpool players while their fans celebrate, and why not? They've been super, and they're into the semi-finals. Winners at St Andrews by an astonishing 7 goals to 0.